Hello, beautiful mutants and eclectic minds of the world, and welcome to another blue and sunshiny day. And speaking of blue, why does blue have a meaning of like sad? Right? I mean, I love the color blue, and I try not to be sad at all. Um, but it is what it is. So it's a windy today. Not supposed to get as hot, but it still is nice. It's probably in the low 70s right now, about 2021. So today is sort of like please stand by, Eminem song. Real some steady. Please stand up, please stand up. So it's not please stand by, but please stand by. Anyways, so yeah, I'm in a good mood today. So I got an email back for those who care, sort of thing, from my insurance company that she's received the report from the medical consultant. She's received whatever back, and she's going to investigate and give me a response, hopefully, like later on today, sort of thing. But then also in the email, she stated that the employer has stated that they're not going to make any accommodations. That when I come back to work, I'm going to have to just pretend like nothing is changed, sort of thing, and just yeah. So we'll see how that goes. Ideally, I guess, which almost segues into me what I'm going to talk about. Ideally. I would like to have an extension either like for this week, come back next Monday, or another 2 weeks and come back on the following Monday. I mean, obviously, perfect world would be sort of like, yeah, they don't want you back, so we're just going to put you on like indefinite disability. That'd be awesome. Or again, the company comes and approaches me with a buyout, right? Gives me a 7 profit, sort of like, thank you for all your service, but we're going in a different direction. Which is fine too. I'll go in a different direction. So enough with the real life stuff. Let's go with what I did. What I spent hours doing yesterday, doing a deep dive. What I initially was searching for has to do with 1968. And on Wikipedia, and very interesting. And then it led me elsewhere. That's not important, but the end point, and where I spent a ton of time, the bulk of my time, is on idealism, and I believe more specifically metaphysical idealism, as opposed to, I can't remember what the other idealism was, but it's more like objective idealism as opposed to subjective idealism or something like that. So it led me to some writings of the because I guess there's more than one, the George Berkeley that matters, the George Berkeley that the city in California and the university was named after. Okay, so George Berkeley, early, like late 1600s, I think, about 17 something, 1734. I think he released stuff just as he passed. I'm not sure. I have to double check. Anyways, George Berkeley. Okay, so idealism. That, and then this is to George Berkeley, and I it resonates. It right. It just okay. There's only two things in the world: is ideas and spirit, and ideas can't create ideas. Ideas can only come from the spirit. The spirit creates ideas, or spirit builds ideas or creates new ideas built on ideas that are already there. So, in other words, is that everything around is based on the thought that it should be there, sort of thing, or that it's based on a sort of like a collective perceiving. Right, so that's what they talk about, is just perceiving. Like if you don't perceive it, it's not there, right? Because because it's nothing, right? So, and then this is where the spirit comes involved, and spirit is consciousness. Spirit is everything that is not ideas, right? So there's only spirit and idea. So everything that is matter came from an idea, was created. Um, and then so this is the whole concept behind God, or the source, or the one, right? There's only unity, not duality. Um, Sort of like what's going on in certain countries of the world is based on a unity, as opposed to, well, I guess the best example of a, I guess, of a system that works, or probably works, is Switzerland, except for, we're not going to, but they have like a one government, and that they elect every few years based on the candidate, sort of thing. So they don't have more than one party; they just have one party, and right. So I know, a small country, and I just drifted off the topic. So we'll go back to idealism, even though I've pretty much said everything what idealism is. So if you go back to the beginning of time, sort of thing, like, and I was listening early to Alan Watts, What Is Reality Again, sort of thing, and he's talking about pretty much the same stuff. Sort of is that that God breathed into life humanity, sort of thing, right? So the consciousness, but it's right. I've never. Okay, pause. Okay. So yeah, so it's based on like quantum mechanics, and the whole aspect of spooky distance at spooky action at a distance, and the fact that everything is really there's nothing, right? When you the microscope, and you go, wait, right, it's like mostly space, in or outer, sort of thing. And then I know sort of what I guess I was trying to lead into with the spirit and consciousness and stuff like that, and where there's big debates and stuff like that. Stuff matter, right? Motion, right? Like what determines motion, and and you've got like the gravity and all that, and so yeah, it basically is that consciousness, whatever consciousness is God or source, and is everywhere all the time, right? And as he made the analogy regarding the tree. If there's not a tree in the forest, it doesn't make a sound, sort of thing. And it's sort of like, well, if there's nobody around, the tree doesn't exist, but it does exist because God is everywhere all the time. So, and that's right. I mean, that's right, because the perceiving. I guess it's only, and I guess that's the reason why I keep on exploring and thinking and stuff like that, is because even though I keep thinking that it all makes sense, I keep on exploring, and I find stuff that keeps on making more sense and more sense. So, I'm gonna leave it like that, because yeah, I wanted to explain it differently. Maybe I explained it okay. I don't know. But that's that's sort of like how how I've led my existence since a kid, sort of thing. Like, I used to like lay in bed all hours of the night, like like, when was the beginning, like infinity, what, there's never an end, sort of thing. There's, right, so everything just always is, right? That doesn't compute, right? And it's to do but yeah, it was going back. George Berkeley is that I actually read a good portion of his essay that he put out in 1709 regarding new theory of vision. Actually, I should go back and read more of it, because it was very interesting what he was talking about. And then there was the part one of the general treatise of human knowledge, or general knowledge, or something like that. And again, just based upon idea upon so what was, I guess, what was the first idea, what was the initial existence, right? The and I've and I was, yeah, so okay, stay tuned.